What's going on, guys? Trav here with Chaotic Strategies, and tonight I've got a amazing deck profile for you guys. If you guys are new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, that little notification bell, so that way you guys are always notified when I post new content. Tonight we're going to be going over the Infinite Attack Beaver Warrior deck. There's been a couple different variations of this deck that I've seen. I had to do a lot of research to kind of get the gist of how I wanted to do this deck. And there was one variation that I saw that was 100% completely illegal. You know, you're running 3-pot of greeds and just, it was a mess. So I wanted to get this deck to a point where it would be somewhat legal. So I saw a variation from Moonlight OCG, shout out to them. I kind of took their variation. They were running a 60 card deck, and I wanted to get it down to a more playable level, which you're going to see here at 40 cards. Now, this is not anything that you're going to really have competitive play with. This is just for fun. I think this deck could be turned into a more competitive play style, but I kind of ran out of time. School started back up, so I didn't really get any actual in-game footage. So what I'm going to show you is just the deck profile, kind of what I have started here, and then I'm going to show you my test hand. The test hand's going to take a little bit, just simply because, you know, when you're running the test hand on EDO, you can't really use your hand destruction spell card, which is kind of a big key player in this deck. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and get right on into the deck profile. So, to start things off with, obviously we're going to be running 3 of our main guy here, Beaver Warrior. We're also going to run 2 Blackluster Soldier, Envy of the Beginning. This is also a staple card. You got to have this card in this deck, and you don't necessarily need it onto the field, but you got to have it in the graveyard. Running 2 Shaddoll Beasts. This card is fantastic just to get you some extra draw. So, of course, like most Shaddolls, it's going to be a flip-based card. Once you flip it, you can draw 2, then discard 1. Or if the card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can draw 1 card. So either way, you still get to get a card into your hand. And then we are going to run a small Fire Fist engine into this as well. It's going to be kind of key in order to get our infinite loop going for Beaver Warrior. So the first one that we're going to run is Buffalo, Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Buffalo. If this card is in the graveyard, you can send a total of 2 Fire Fist or Fire Formation cards from your hand and or face up on the field to the graveyard. Then you can special summon this card from the graveyard. You can only use them once per turn. Then we're also going to run 3 Reborn Tengu. Fantastic card. If this card leaves the field, you can special summon another one from your deck. So it's got a nice recirculation to it. We're also going to run 2 Performance Trick Clowns. Again, you can special summon this card from the graveyard by paying 1,000 life points, and you'll see here later on why we want to keep recirculating these cards back out of the graveyard. We're running 2 Phantom Chaos. I actually might even bump this one up to 3. This one's going to be your real big staple card in order to get that infinite loop going. So with Phantom Chaos, your opponent takes no battle damage from attacks with this card. And then once per turn, you can target 1 effect monster in your graveyard. You're going to banish that target, and if you do, until the end phase, this card's name and original attack become that monster's name and original attack, and replace this effect with that monster's original's effect. So this card's pretty much going to become whatever that you decide it to be with cards in your graveyard, and Blackluster Soldier is going to be the target for Phantom Chaos. We want Blackluster in the graveyard if we can't get him out onto the field. So then that way Phantom Chaos becomes Envy of Chaos. We're also going to run 2 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Ravens. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can set 1 Fire Formation spell directly from your deck. Again, key card because we need those spells to kind of help with that recirculation. And then for the rest of the monsters in the main deck, we are running 3 Red Resonators. This is going to be our tuner to get into our Synchro monster. So when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon one level 4 or lower monster from your hand. When this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field, gain life points equal to its attack. So again, you can kind of help protect yourself using his secondary effect as well. For spells, we're running 3 Primal Seeds. So if you have a Blackluster Soldier, Envy of the Beginning, or Chaos Emperor Dragon, Envy of the End on the field, you're going to target 2 of your banished cards and add both of those targets to your hand, which you'll see here in the test hand. You're going to have Phantom of Chaos, copy Envy of the Beginning. Envy of the Beginning is going to get banned, and then we can then use Primal Seed since now we have an Envy of the Beginning technically on the field. I've got 2 Pot of Extravagance, which we all know you're going to banish 6 cards out of the extra deck in order to draw 2. Moonlight OCG was running Pot of Desires and their 60 card version of this deck, which makes sense. You know, a lot of duplicates in that deck, so that way you can just keep getting your draw power out of that. Kind of an old school card here. We're going to run 2 Swords of Revealing Light, just protection in case you don't get the hand that you need right off the bat. 1 Foolish Burial, which our target for Foolish Burial is also going to be Blackluster. 1 Monster Reborn. Running 2 Limiter Removals. So you're going to double the attack of all machine monsters you currently control until the end of this damage step. And then during the end phase of this turn, destroy all those monsters. And yes, I know, Trav, there's no machines in this deck. There will be, I'm getting to that. Running 3 Hand Destruction. Each player sends 2 cards from their hand to the graveyard, then draws 2 cards. This, again, is going to be one of the main cards to get into your infinite loop faster. So if you start out with Blackluster Envy of the Beginning in your hand, or Performance Trick Clown in your hand, you can use Hand Destruction to get both those guys into the graveyard, so that way you can utilize those effects through there and then get a draw 2 out of that as well. We are also running 2 Fire Formation Tenzus, so during your main phase you can normal summon 1 Beast Warrior monster in addition to your normal summon set. You can only activate that once per turn. And 2 Fire Formation Tenkis, so when this card is activated you can add 1 level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, and then all Beast Warrior monsters you control gain 100 attack. Again, only once per turn that card can be utilized. And then for our traps, we're running 1 Macro Cosmos, which is also one of the cards that has to be activated on the field in order to run the loop properly. So when this card resolves, you can special summon 1 Helios, the Primordial Sun, from your hand or deck. We don't care about that effect. What we care about is the second effect. While this card is face up on the field, any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. So that's our primary effect that we want to focus on there. Okay, moving into the extra deck, we're running 3 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Horse Prince. So he requires 1 Fire Tuner and then 1 or more non-tuner monsters. When this card is synchro summoned, you can special summon 1 level 3 fire monster from your deck, and then after you synchro summon this card, you cannot special summon level 5 or higher monsters for the rest of this turn. Running 3 Saruja Scoldred. We should all know what his attack does. If you use 2 monsters to bring him out, you can, any monster that's normal summoned to a zone that he points to gains 300 attack. 3 or more monsters once per turn during your main phase. You can special summon 1 monster from your hand, and then if you use 4 monsters to bring them out, this card, or when this card is link summoned, you can draw 4 cards, then place 3 cards from your hand on the bottom of your deck in any order. 3 Nightmare Phoenix. When it's link summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls and destroy it. 3 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Eagle. So all this guy requires is 2 Beast Warrior monsters. You can only special summon Eagle once per turn. You can activate Fire Fist monsters' effects without sending Fire Fist or Fire Formation cards from your hand or field to the graveyard. You can target 1 Fire Formation spell or trap you control or in your graveyard, return it to the hand, then send 1 Fire Fist monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. And then for our last card in our extra deck, I'm running 3 Reprodocus, just 2 monsters to bring him out, and then you can activate 1 of these 2 effects. You can declare 1 monster type. All face-up monsters this card points to become that type until the end of the turn, or you can declare 1 attribute, and all face-up monsters this card points to become that attribute until the end of the turn. And you can only use 1 effect once per turn with him. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Pretty straightforward. Nothing, you know, overly complicated. So let me go over into our replay in the test hand and show you guys kind of how this whole deal works. Okay, so our opening hand is actually pretty much what we want. We have our red resonator, Tensu, our Reborn Tengu, a hand destruction, and our Beaver Warrior. Now again, because I'm just running a test hand deal, I can't use hand destruction. So hand destruction would help me get into this loop much quicker, but since I can't do it in the test hand, I end up having to take like a backdoor route to get to it, but it still works. I was still able to do it. So we're going to start by using red resonator, special summoning Tengu, going into our synchro, and then using our synchro we can bring out Raven, and then Tengu's effect activates out of the graveyard, bringing back another one onto the field. So we need to make sure that we use Brotherhood Horse Prince and our other Brotherhood Raven in order to bring out Eagle. And then we want to make sure that we bring out Tenki and not Tensu during this point in time. Tenki is going to allow us to bring a monster to our hand. And then we can go ahead and activate Eagle's effect, sending Tenki to our hand and allowing us to send Buffalo to the grave. Once Buffalo hit the graveyard, we can then special summon him. Because of Eagle's effect, we didn't have to pay the card cost in order to bring Buffalo out. And then from there, we used Tensu to get that second normal summon, so that way we had 4 on the board in order to go into Saruja, so that way we get the 4-card draw. So then we're going to bring Tenki back. And as you guys saw, I sent Hand Destruction away. If you were in a match, don't send Hand Destruction back into the deck. You want to utilize that card. But again, since I'm using the test hand, I wasn't able to utilize it. So this is normally, if I would have used Hand Destruction, I would have been able to keep that going. But like I said, I had to take kind of the back route to get into it. So I got my draw 2 from Extravagance, and now I can start special summoning cards out onto the field. Normally this should all take place in between 1 and 3 turns if you can stay on the defensive in order for it to happen. So from here we have a fully loaded field. So we're just going to go ahead and jump. Everything here is where we want it. So I went into our Dino Link to get ready to bring out, or to get ready to start our loop. Alright, so I jumped clear ahead because it took, like I said, quite a while to get up to this point. But this is kind of what you want your board to look like. Okay, I was able to get Blackluster Soldier into the graveyard. So once he was in the graveyard, I activated our Macrocosmos and then normal summon Phantom of Chaos. I targeted Blackluster, so that way now Phantom of Chaos is now Blackluster, and Blackluster got sent into our banishment. So now I can use limiter removal and then Primal Seed, bring Blackluster limiter back. Need to at least have 2 Primal Seeds and a limiter removal, so that way you can keep this infinite loop going, and you can just keep going till either the game glitches out or until you know you're going to win. And this loop will just continue on till whenever you decide to end it. I didn't sit here long enough to figure out exactly when the game would glitch out, but I just kind of wanted you guys to get the gist of how this works. So, and that is our infinite loop. Right, and there you have it, guys. Like I said, I'm sorry I didn't get enough time to actually get some duels in to really tweak this deck some more. It's been crazy since school started back up, so getting my kids all ready for this educational season. With that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This deck so far has been a lot of fun to build. I'm going to keep tweaking and keep playing with it. So if you like this video, comment, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what kind of additions or things that you would change on this deck profile. Be sure to hit that like button. With that, I hope you guys are being safe out there. Be sure to wash your hands. Enjoy the school year. We'll see you guys in the next video.